Good morning, and it is a nice day out there, unlike the last month has been. And I enjoy this completely, believe me. You are watching the Cannon County Chamber Connection, and this is always sponsored by DTC Communications, with our thanks because this is a great opportunity for the Chamber to recognize people in our community and businesses and events. So we do appreciate that. We haven't seen you since December, but the only thing that was making the news in January was the weather. And it was miserable, and I am so ready for spring. I really am. And the strange thing is we've had, 2 days of sunshine, and I already have tulips coming up.
Hey, that's cool. Did you break any New Year's resolutions yet?
I didn't make any, so I don't have to worry about breaking them. The one thing that we did have in January was the Chamber had their annual banquet. And of course, that is for all of our Chamber members to attend. We had a good turnout for it. We introduced our board for 2025. And we also gave everybody a 60-second commercial. And believe it or not, there wasn't too many that went over that. And we presented this year 4 awards that we really haven't done in the past, but we may continue to do this in the future. And of course, one of the awards went to the Business of the Year. And of course, that business was DTC Communications, and they are a great partner for the Chamber. They're not the only partner we have. We have a lot of businesses that jump in there to help the Chamber out. But DTC always seems like they're in the right place at the right time. And we do appreciate all they do for the community. So this year, the Business of the Year went to DTC. The community service organization that won an award was the Woodbury Lions Club. And if you don't know all the things they're involved in, they're a great organization. They help so many things in our community and outside of our community that people aren't aware of. And we have some other community organizations that do a lot for the community too, but they're more specific in their causes, whereas the Lions Club helps in so many different ways. So they did get our Organization of the Year, went to the Woodbury Lions Club. And then we decided to give awards to people who were the original starters of the Chamber of Commerce. And that was way back in 1997 when the thought came up and they were looking into doing a Chamber of Commerce for Cannon County. And 2 of those who are still Chamber members to this day were Greg Rogers and Joanne Tate. And of course, Joanne is the owner of Jennings Jewelers, and Greg is self-supporting, is self-employed. That's what I'm trying to say. I guess he's self-supporting too. But anyway, he was the other one that got that award. And in the future, there'll be some more, because there was a whole gang that was involved in that. I remember it well, but I wasn't one of the gang, so. And then, let me see, we had 10 new businesses join the Chamber in 2024, and we lost 3. Now, we do have some buildings that are up for sale. So we're hoping that in the future, those will get occupied. A couple of them are around the square, and some are throughout Cannon County or Woodbury. So we're hoping that before long, those will be filled up too.
Hey, Dollar General, are you listening to this? We've got some buildings. Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, we've got a Dollar General that's going to come in.
And yeah, Dollar General is coming in. Yep.
And they're not too far from the Dollar Market.
Nope.
But I want to tell you, the Dollar Market has really been good to help out in the community. They help with the food drive that the Lions Club does every November for the food bank. and the Dollar Market lets us set up. They also help collect food for it. So yeah, they're a community business as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know about the new one. We'll see when it gets built. It hasn't been built yet very long. Okay, we do have we have one man here that wants to be on the show, and we had a couple of other people, but they haven't showed up yet, so we'll see how that goes. We have Mr. Jared Franklin, and Jared, you want to tell them what your title is and what you do?
Well, I am, like you said, Jared Franklin. I am the Agricultural and Natural Resources County Extension Agent for the Cooperative Extension Service. That is here in Cannon County. It's also part of our through Extension, we have the Family and Consumer Sciences that they have the agent that is there, and we also have the 4-H program that is there in the office. But the Cooperative Extension, my part in that is to work with the agricultural producers in the county,
Right.
home gardeners as well. If you have plant questions or variety questions or any kind of general agriculture or agronomic questions, that's what I'm there for.
What kind of grass to put where?
Well, I can tell you what the University of Tennessee can recommend on what varieties of grasses, turf grasses. We have access to experts in turf grasses as well.
Right.
But it's from your window box garden, I suppose, if you want, all the way up to the largest farmers in the county. I mean, we can.
Okay, good.
There's some information that we can provide to answer questions that whoever might have. So
We had a little discussion a little earlier about, I kind of feel a concern about this, and heaven knows I'm not a farmer, but I'm afraid that so many of our farms that have been owned by families, big farms for years, the younger generation sees more advantage to it if they're sold to be developed for other things besides a farm.
housing development pressure, I mean, that is a challenge for us here in the county. Like we were discussing, the easier land to farm, the better farmland is easier to develop. I mean,
Right.
it's more suited, more likely level, and fewer obstructions, rocks, that sort of thing. And it's drainage properties are well to build houses on, so it kind of becomes a competition between what the value is. Do we keep this in agricultural production, or does the family decide to put that into development? So I'm sure there's some balance there. But
You know, the way things are going right now, if it's gonna be to your advantage to farm,
right.
because we're gonna need farm products.
Well, everybody likes to eat. I do.
That's right.
And
And so, with the prices of things and everything that are gonna go up, and make no mistake about it, there may be a few things that'll drop a little, but things are never gonna go back to the way they were 10, 15 years ago. They aren't going to, even 5 years ago. So if you can have a garden, or if you have a farm, better stick with it, because we're gonna need it, and you'll be able to sell your product right here.
you should be, and that's one of the things that I think I'm sort of charged with is working with our farmers market vendors that when we haven't really had to new to this job, and haven't had a chance to meet all of those, a lot of those vendors and potential vendors for that. But that's one of the very viable outlet for people to sell their farm production.
That's right.
And that's
And ours is not real big. We don't have a lot of people that set up at that, and I wish we did.
There are some opportunities there, I think,
Yeah,
for
there is.
both consumers and the producers in the community to meet there, and I think it could be a very, very viable outlet for
I
some
do
of our
too.
farm production.
I do too. Well, what other things do you do? Do you do much with the cattle part of it?
I'm to be involved there. A lot of programs and all that are designed from the university that go toward more efficient and making better decisions with their livestock operation, not just cattle, but also the small ruminants such as your sheep and goats.
Right.
we can answer questions about those and more efficient feeding of them and trying to help people to produce the forage that those animals consume. They're grazing animals and
You gotta have hay.
you've got to have hay and part of that also is balancing the use of the forage that the animal consumes on their own, the grazed forage. It's a crop too. I mean, we do have a lot of open land where livestock graze, but that also could be managed and to make it more productive. And that's kind of what we consult and look at and see if there's things that we can do to improve. And there's also work in conjunction with other agencies such as the Soil Conservation Service. They do a lot of programs that help with controlling the runoff, like say
Right.
from your pastures and how to manage the grazing for those operations.
I know we have cattle on both sides of, on one side, actually he goes around us, that one does, and then across the road they also have cattle. And I know they rent land everywhere they can so they can move these cattle.
Right.
If they don't have enough, they move them somewhere else for a while. So it's a big challenge.
It is. And of course, beef prices are fairly good at the moment. Mm-hmm. So, and that's could be one of the better profit opportunities for our ag producers.
I think I see that as being all right for a while.
Yeah, I think it's sustainable on the cow calf or the production side of it anyway.
Right, I believe so too.
Which is there have been long periods where it's been opposite, and the prices maybe not so good. So I mean, it hopefully does eventually balance out. But supply constraints nationwide are a lot of people want to buy American beef, and that's the demand is up. So
Yeah.
so that.
You're in the same office as with Sarah, and she does the 4-H part of it. We're one of the few counties that still have 4-H that's active in their grammar schools.
Yes.
And I think that's very fortunate. I think there are kids that move in here, especially from the city. They think their meat comes from McDonald's. They don't realize where it starts.
Right.
So I think learning all of that and about even the homemaking and the putting yourself out there to give speeches and everything, I think that's important.
Mm-hmm. Well, agriculture and communication is important no matter what you're doing, whether you're a farmer that's going to town to talk to your suppliers or whoever, or if you're going to town to talk to your soil conservation people about what can we do this. I mean, it's being a better communicator helps everybody.
Yeah, it is.
And a lot of those programs, the 4-H programs, help with that, and it helps. And like right now, there's multiple aspects. Their Trash to Treasures program that they've kind of developed over the last several years, where it's just mind blowing how creative some of these 4-Hers are in finding uses for possibly tossed away items that would be in a landfill somewhere and finding a better use for them. And I think that stimulates the creativity and thought processes. That's how we make advancements.
I think one of the best things that I was involved in with the kids is when they did they actually went in and they gave you, like you may have drawn a family with a man and a wife and 2 kids, or it may have just been you, but they set up all these different businesses and showed you how to spend your money wisely, how your parents have to do that. The kids I was over the pet store at one time. We couldn't get them out of the pet store. They'd buy 5 or 6 dogs, and I thought, you have to feed these,
Yes,
right?
yes, the pups do like to eat.
But that was so good for those kids to learn that the things that their parents have to deal with every day. How much you pay for rent and what kind of car you drive and what your income is. One little boy wanted a dog, and he said the kids were on their own. So I thought that was pretty good. Do you have anything you want to talk to him about?
Now, what
Are you a
some of the-
farmer?
No, I'm not a farmer. No, I'm not a farmer. I don't even have a backyard big enough to put anything,
You're not a
much
chicken
less
or
my
nothing.
car, right? What are some of the trends that you're seeing, and have you seen before you came into this position in the farming industry that you're kind of concerned about, maybe, other than the obvious fact that there's a lot of farmland that's being sold now to become housing developments?
Well, I think that what you've already just stated there is probably one of the primary concerns of the agriculture industry. We have to have land to farm, and that's
Right.
everybody's looking for that arable land. That's probably one of the biggest challenges we face is
Keeping it as a farm.
keeping it as a farm and allocating that to the producers that can use it to its agricultural use. There's as far as trends, I mean, there's challenges such as that, but there's a lot of technology that is kind of becoming that's making people more efficient. A lot of use of like global positioning that helps with the more efficient use of the nutrients that we have to purchase to grow a crop, the fertilizers and things, and the weed control chemicals. There's just a lot of technology, and it's advancing every day.
Is there a way, we go back to the first thing that we've been mentioning, is there a way that we could educate maybe these young people that are taking over family farms and stuff, and they're deciding, well, I don't want to be I don't want to be a farmer or whatnot. Is there a way to maybe educate and steer them toward, if you're going to sell this property, let's look at selling it to somebody who wants to be a farmer first before, how difficult would that be?
Well, I'm sure that's pretty difficult because, I mean, the production agriculture is in competition with the development. I mean, that's
It all boils down who's going to offer you the most.
well, I think that's just the reality of it. I
Right,
mean,
it is.
that's the biggest return. But I mean, it's as they say, they're not making any more of it. So I mean, it's as
Right.
far as an investment, farmland has through the grand scale is kind of been a good investment for people. There's a lot of equity built up in that dirt, so to speak.
You're right.
But there's a lot of productive value that after it's underneath asphalt that kind of stops the opportunity for it to be growing crop,
Right.
grass, pasture, field crop, whatever it might be.
How much does this thing, like with the bird flu and everything, affect? I mean, I know there's a lot of people in Cannon County that own chickens, and it probably hadn't been a year ago that my neighbor was looking for people to give eggs to.
Right.
Because she had so
So
many,
many, right, right.
Well, maybe that's not the case right now.
I don't think so at the moment, and I think that's one of the challenges of like the bird flu is that it's transmitted by wildfowl, wild birds. I don't think the songbirds so much, but some of the migratory birds is how it is going from flock to flock, and it is very
Well, they say now that it's getting into cattle. or
well.
cattle's been
It
getting-
has I think the virus has changed, and it's becoming, and it's really just a little path, and I don't think it's really fatal to the cattle. It does diminish it. Where they have noticed it at is in milk production.
Right.
My understanding of that in cattle, and that really it really just knocks their immune system back, and they're not very functional for a while. But they most recover, is my understanding. But
But the chickens don't.
chickens are very susceptible to it. And I think other poultry are different levels. I don't know. I think they're different between different. The turkeys maybe not as responsive as the
ducks
chickens are.
and everything.
Right. Some are. It's more lethal to some species than others. But it's a very fast replicating virus, as I understand it. So that's why I think Georgia last week they kind of put limits on like their backyard poultry shows and swap meets and that sort of thing. There was a positive test somewhere within a commercial poultry flock somewhere in Georgia. So they're just trying to get it locked down where it doesn't spread.
Right.
So I think, and that's
And if it's fed by migratory birds, what can you do about
That's right. You can't limit where the
Birds will
eagle
go
flies. So, and I think actually it does transmit through some of the like the raptors, like the eagles, and then
Right.
your scavenger birds, your buzzards and vultures and that sort of thing also transmit it. So it's hard to get if they find it somewhere, they're trying to contain it. That's the reason for some of the restrictions that they're having, and if they have to go in and depopulate a flock.
Right.
That's if they're an egg-laying flock, that stops their production, and those start to kind of, it's cumulative effect. I mean, just one here and there might not be a very big effect, but I mean, in the supply chain, eventually those add up.
So your job really involves a lot of areas, doesn't it?
Yes, it's
Having to do with farming.
it's pretty broad-ranging production,
is.
agriculture, and food production, even their home gardeners. So I mean, it's all things growing, I suppose. It's covered.
Well, I was going to say, I don't eat any of my flowers, so
Well, it's
this is probably a good thing.
but there's value to those too. So the not so much here in this county, but the ornamental industry is pretty huge to this part of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at all the nursery stock that's in Warren County, and then there's some of those and greenhouses and that sort of thing. So I mean, it's
You know, my sisters lived, I had two sisters lived in Colorado, and I went home to visit one year, and my younger sister told me she had this tree growing out in her backyard. And of course, I grew up in Colorado, so I thought, well, you didn't see many of those in Colorado, but it was she called it a bird of paradise tree. And I says, Jane, that's a Formosa. And she says, no, I ordered it from McMinnville, Tennessee, a nursery. And I says, that's what it is. And she goes, well, they called it a bird of paradise. And I thought they can call it what they want to, but they grow wild down there.
I think that's called marketing. that's
I thought that
making
was
use
so
of your
funny.
production, though.
Okay, well, it's been very interesting meeting you. And like I say, you have a job that involves a lot of different areas. And farming is, especially to Cannon County, because it's a big part of Cannon County,
Sure is. Sure
the
is.
farms. And I want to see it stay that way. You know.
I mean, I think it's very important. Our agriculture is very important to the county, and
To the world, you got to
a lot
eat.
of the vast majority, by a long shot, of the agriculture production in Cannon County leaves the county, and a lot of it leaves the state even.
Right.
But there's the food system and in general is enormous. I mean, there's not that many people in the population that are physically on the farm producing, small percentage of the population, but when you go looking at supply chains for inputs for agriculture production, and then what they do produce and how it's distributed across, I mean, it's huge. I mean, it's a
Right,
huge segment
it is.
of our economy.
It
is food. So, but it's broad ranging. So I mean, it's important from top to bottom. But I mean, it's sort of on the ground level here.
Right.
Production.
So see, I have room to grow a garden, and I'll sell you some of my stuff whenever you
Okay, I want some tomatoes. I'm going to pre-order
Yeah,
tomatoes and
order
some
anything.
lettuce
and an egg. I
and
know
an
what
egg.
you-
Yeah, well, you know Waffle House. What is it? Waffle House. Do they even serve real eggs?
I think so.
Well, yeah, they're
because I know they
charging-
pour them out of the thing.
Yeah.
Well, the other day they made a big press release that they're charging now 50
cents an egg.
a surcharge per egg, and I'm thinking, you're just pouring it out of I guess it's an egg. All right, whatever. Because I'll tell you what. I've been to Waffle House, and there's no knock on Waffle House, but I've been to Waffle House. I can't go. It kills my stomach. So, not anymore.
Well, that's a good commercial, and they were going to join the chamber. Now they won't.
Oh, well, fire me.
All right, thank
That's
you
what we
very
need here in
much.
Woodbury is a Waffle House. Yeah.
Hey, everybody's always telling me we need a high-end restaurant.
Waffle House is not a high-end
No,
restaurant.
but I
Okay.
don't know what kind of high-end, we've got some good restaurants. I don't really know what kind of a high-end restaurant It's gonna
Texas
come to it.
Roadhouse. That's what they're talking about, you know. That
You
type of
got
thing.
one within 15 miles of you. So.
Yeah.
All right. You're welcome to stay the rest of the show, or if you need to get back anywhere, that's fine.
Thank you.
But we'll have you again after a few months and see if you're still excited.
See if I'm still surviving.
Well, you could promote the farmer's market,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
when it comes
Hey,
up.
listen, I wish our farmers market would increase, really. It's kind of dwindled down, you know, and I think that's important to have a farmers market where people can go buy stuff.
I do as well. That's one of the things that's on my radar to try.
Well,
kind
all
of work
right,
on.
there
So
you go.
I'm
We
sort of
gave
excited
you your
about
first goal right there.
about making it, trying to help it grow.
Well, it
Thank
was
you for
good to
having
have
me.
you on the show. All right, we had some other guests, but I don't think they're going to show up.
You know, like Marcia's coming.
And Beth,
Yes.
you're with the Art Center, and you have things going on all year long, don't you?
We do. It never ends.
No, it
Even when
doesn't.
we're closed, we have things going on. We have, renovations or something that we're doing, or painting or something, and we're the only ones here.
You've painted the theater,
We did.
and you
during
painted the
Christmas.
floor.
Yeah, well, that was for the show.
You do that for every show, don't
For
you?
most shows.
That's
Not
amazing,
all,
you know.
Not all, but many shows I do, yeah. But, let's see, the next thing we have coming up is February 15th, we have a painting class. So it's Jack Labe, and he's done several painting classes here before. He's a wonderful person, and he's so sweet and so easy to work with. But he's calling this one Paint Like Van Gogh. So this will be a fun class.
Does he do watercolor, oil,
He
or
does
both?
any. Usually he does watercolor or acrylic.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if I'm remembering right. But most of his stuff is watercolor. Now, I don't know about with Van Gogh. I don't know if it'd be acrylic or watercolor. I'm not sure. He did Monet, Paint Like Monet a few weeks ago. I think that was more watercolor, but I think this might be acrylic. Anyway, it's open to students or, adults, seniors, whatever. But it's 10 to 12 on the 15th of February. It'll be here.
He's going to have you painting in 2 hours?
Yeah, he does. He gives you some demonstrations and then,
Let you
Get you
go.
going.
How'd you do it?
yeah, and he comes around the tables too and, gives you suggestions and such. But people come out of here with some nice work.
You know, our senior center has some painting classes every now and then, and they do really good.
It's Wade, I think it's
Wade
Wade
McMackins,
McMackins.
yeah.
McMackins.
Yeah, because they've had a
show in here.
show in here and some of them were really good.
They were.
I mean, none of them were bad, but there were some that I was very
I
impressed
went a
with.
couple of times, and I have a couple of them hanging downstairs. Living
Yeah.
room upstairs, but I even surprised myself a little bit.
Yeah, we should ask him if he wants to do one here. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
He might want to do one.
Yeah.
A painting class here. That's not just for seniors, for
Yeah, for anyone.
Anyone?
Let's see, after that, we have our first school show of the calendar year, not of the school year, but the calendar year. It's Sherlock Holmes and the Mystery of the Crown Jewel. And it actually starts February 26th, but that's for school groups. We have 2 public showings. One will be March 1st, and the other one's March 8th. So it's going to be a really cute show. It's a musical. Then after that, we have Oklahoma. It's a
That will
musical.
be a good one.
It runs March 28th through April 12th. Yeah,
And
that will
that's
be
certainly a musical.
It is a musical. It's a classic.
Right.
Everybody loves it. Well, most people love it.
Yeah, I do too.
We've done it here at least once, maybe twice, since I've been around in '99. I can remember, I think the last time we did it was probably around 2004 or 5. So it's been a long time since we've done that one. And then we have the next thing would be a concert, and it's going to be the Hank Williams Lonesome Tour starring Jason Petty. I don't know if he has anybody with him or if it's just him, but he's really good.
Yeah.
He's out of Manchester. So that'll be our first concert.
When is that?
April 19th. That's our second concert of the year, but it's the first one coming up after this. And we're already taking sign-ups for our summer session of conservatories. We have 3 of them, 2 juniors, And one senior, the junior dates are June 2nd through the 13th and June 16th through the 27th. And then our senior session, which is grades 6 through 12, is July 7th through the 18th. And the junior sessions are $200 each, the seniors are $250. And the $200 is 2 weeks, 9 to 3 of camp, and lunch is provided except on Fridays. And there is a play at the end. So, and they do dance, theater, music.
And they have a great time.
They do have a
Believe
wonderful
me, I
time.
hear
They
it.
learn a lot. I mean, they really do have a good time.
You have good teachers,
Mhm,
good
we do.
instructors.
We do have good instructors. So, I mean, anytime if you want to look on our website at artscenterofcc.com, we have this little magnet that has all our concerts on it. You can come by and get one of those. But all of our stuff is online, or if you go on our Facebook page, everything that we're doing, auditions or anything is on.
Now, on the shows, you can buy a season ticket and get all of them.
Yeah, you can still get a season ticket until Oklahoma starts, and it'll be discounted because we've already had one show that's
Right.
completing. And, but they will be, I believe, $70 after this first one for 6 shows. So,
You can't do anything,
5 shows, I'm sorry, 5, because there's 5 left.
yeah, but you can't do anything for, say, $10 or $15 anymore.
No, you can't. We're the cheapest
And
ticket
even
in
the
town.
concerts aren't expensive.
No, they're not bad. Now, the concerts set their own prices, so they're varied.
Yeah,
Because they rent our facility and then
They
they
put
charge
on their
what they
show,
want,
yeah.
yeah. We just do their ticketing for them.
okay,
part of
I
the
have
rent.
family coming in the end of the month, and I was hoping there would be something that I could take her to. I was hoping Shake, Rattle, and Roll would be on, but they'll be later in the year.
Yes, what weekend is it?
She'll be here on the 24th, which is Monday, but then she's leaving on Saturday. So we're kind of in between there. I don't really know what to take her to tell you the truth.
Yeah. Shake, Rattle, and Roll is going to the winery, I know, but
Right.
it'll be before that, and I think they're in Manchester, but it may be after that.
Yeah, it is. I looked.
Yeah, I
I
looked
look-
for Daxton before I came on here to see if he wanted to come and say anything, but, yeah, they'll be in Manchester. I feel like it's early March. I can't remember exactly the date.
She's right in
Yeah.
between everything, so
So, anyway,
she'll just have to listen to me hum a
if
few
you're
bars or
interested in
something.
that, you can go to the Murfreesboro, what is it called? It's called the MAC. Murfreesboro Arts Center, I guess.
Oh,
Is that
the
right? The MAC?
Arts Center, no, MAC is the Murfreesboro Athletic Club.
I think it's
I
MAC
don't
there
think she
too.
wants to go swimming.
Anyway, the
It's the
Murfreesboro,
Arts Center.
Manchester Arts Center.
Oh,
Okay.
Manchester, okay.
Yeah, Manchester
It could
Arts
very
Center.
well be.
And they have Shake, Rattle, and Roll. Or you
Yeah,
can go on
there
Shake,
is a
Rattle, and Roll's
Manchester Arts Center.
Facebook page.
That's
They
what I
also-
did, is I looked to see
They have
where they were
a
going.
concert coming up. So if that's something you're interested in, Daxton works here, so I can promote
Oh,
that.
and he's great. I love his show. I do.
They will be here in September, September 6th and 7th. They will
Right.
be here. We have several good concerts. We have the Fleetwood Mac Tribute Band, May 17th. I hear they're wonderful. Piano Men, May 31st. Music City Stones, it's a Rolling Stones tribute, August 23rd. And then Shake, Rattle, and Roll, September 6th and 7th. And if you really do love Shake, Rattle, and Roll, one of our season shows is $1 Million Quartet Christmas. And some of those guys are in that. And it'll just be a great show.
All the concerts are good. I've never gone to one of them that was bad. I don't care who it was.
No, it may not be your cup of tea, but you know what I mean? Some people,
Yeah.
but most people know what they're coming to see.
Right.
But yeah, we really haven't had a bad one, no. Lots
And then, of
tribute
course,
bands are
every
good.
day you have an art exhibit
Yes.
throughout the art center, really.
We have
And
two.
you have a little store right connected with the art center that they have everything in there. Sauerkraut, all fermented, cheeses. They have everything in that store.
They have some fresh fruits and vegetables.
Right.
And,
Baked items.
yeah, make cookies and make bread on the weekends. It's good bread. And they also do kombucha and water kefir.
Right.
They ferment all of that.
Yeah,
in there.
you can come in here and go in there and
Kimchi. They make kimchi.
get you a taste of kombucha or whatever.
Yeah, they'll give you a sample. But it's a nice little store. They stay very busy, and they rent from us in the front of the building, but they're a very good complement for us because we a lot of our people, cross paths.
Right.
So it's been a very good.
Well, I think,
Partnership.
Beth, when we had those people here with the tourism department, they were so impressed with the art center, of course, for a small county like Cannon County, but then also for our food stores. We have two of them, one on High Street and the one here with connected to the art center. That's their main goal, is healthy.
And both of them were in this facility for a while.
Yeah, and then they split
They
off.
split off. They grew quickly.
Right.
And so they went, and got their own.
But they
building.
also have baked breads and
They
it's
do, and
called
kombucha and
Wellness
water
Center,
kefir and-
Wellness Emporium.
Yeah, wellness.
And then this is Short Mountain Cultures.
And we
and
do
I-
have go ahead. You
Go
finish.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, we also have our gift shop here that's open.
Oh, yeah,
Whenever we're
every day.
open, and this gallery right now is James Harden out of Manchester. I don't know if the camera can see any, his paintings are wonderful. And he,
Well, their gift store is all artisan work. You won't find anything that's imported from anywhere except the artisans in and around Cannon County. So
yeah, it's
this
all
is a
local.
good thing too. Okay, anything else?
I can't think of anything offhand.
Okay.
White Oak will be coming up before we know it. It's gonna be September 13th and 14th, so everybody
That's a big
get ready
thing.
for that.
Put that on your calendar. Yeah.
Yep,
It's a
13th
big
and
thing.
14th.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to let you talk about the child advocacy, the run for Cannon County children.
Okay, coming up on March the 29th, I'm part of the committee that's putting this together. The Cannon County Child Advocacy Center holds their annual Cannon Runs for Children 5K, and it's also a fun run. Why we're trying to get the message out early this year is because of all the things that we've got planned for it. One of the big things that's happening right now, thank you. I was thinking, man, I forgot my flyer. But one of the things, and I know a lot of people probably watching this saying, man, he's constantly on his phone. It's because I wanted to pull this up and talk about it. It's an art contest. And what it is we sell T-shirts. The Cannon Runs for Children T-shirts. And last year we started this with a contest amongst the kids here in Cannon County, ages 18 or up to 18, and everybody got to turn in their artwork for a design. And if your design won, then guess what? You got published you got your artwork put on the front of the T-shirt. So what we're doing this now is the artwork is due on by March 1st. And if you will, because we wanted everybody to participate, not just school kids that are in school at the various schools here in Cannon County, homeschool children. We want them to be able to participate. So we're asking that you drop any artwork off to the Child Advocacy Center at 214 West Water Street. Now, if you're in school, obviously, if your kid's in school, they can drop it off at the school office. We'll still go collect it. But for those of you that don't have children in school, maybe you're homeschooling them or what have you, if you will submit your artwork to the Child Advocacy Center. First place, we're giving away $25, kind of an incentive. And you also get a free T-shirt that you can go parade around and brag about how you won the art contest.
Yeah.
And we'll publish the T-shirt or publish the art in the Cannon Courier. We'll take a picture of you when the artwork is published on the T-shirt, and we'll take a picture and we'll put it in the Courier as well as some of the others. I think we were going to give away a little prize to second and third place too, just not $25 because it would break the bank. No, I'm just kidding. It wouldn't.
It's a fundraiser.
But yeah, contest rules and guidelines are available on the Cannon County Child Advocacy Center's Facebook site. So go on there. There's a big post about it. I'll try to share that post. I have that post. Share it on the Cannon Courier News and Events Facebook page. But the 5K and Fun Run is going to take place on Saturday, as I mentioned, March 29th. We're going to start it off with Ready, Set, Go. We thought last year, I don't know if you remember last year, we were going to do the gun, but then it would startle some people. So we decided that Ready, Set, Go would be better. So that's how we're going to get it started. But we're going to open up, we're going to be there as early as 6 in the morning for people to come by and get registered. It's $25 for 18 plus, $15 for ages 60 plus, $10 for students 13 to 17, and $5 for students 12 and under, and it will take place right here in the parking lot. This is where it starts, at the Art Center of Cannon County, and located again, 1424 John Bragg Highway. So
If you wanted a starting noise, you could always ask the rock quarry to blast or something.
hey, that'd be good. That'd be good. Beats the conventional starting horn or something like that, right?
Yesterday they blasted, and I think it shook the whole building, didn't it, Beth?
I think they blasted twice yesterday.
Did
Yeah,
they?
that was funny. I was in a meeting, and they were a couple weeks ago, and some representatives were from the rock quarry was over there, and they sat out there and tried to convince people. We only blast them once a day. This woman got up, once every 2 or 3 days. This woman got up right in the middle of everything. No, that's false. Says, I've felt blast in my house 2 or 3 times a day. And I'm thinking, these guys are not trying to be good neighbors, putting out statements like that. They need to kind of be careful, especially with what they were asking for. They're asking to widen. They've got another piece of property that they've had since 2023, I think.
They
when
want
the
an exit,
zoning. No, they don't necessarily want an exit.
an entrance.
They want to widen their entrance. They want to make a new entrance, and I don't think it's going to happen until they show some good faith about cleaning up their act to where the dust and stuff. They don't have what is known as a wheel washer. And see, what happens is when you get these dump trucks that come in, pick up their load of gravel or whatever, and they leave. And if they don't wash their wheels and everything, if there's no automatic wheel washer, like running your truck through a car wash, that's where you get a lot of your dirt and your gravel and all that good stuff.
It's on my car every day.
Yeah. Yeah, there were several
The
that
wind blows, it's really on there.
there were several that showed up, and I mentioned that, we'd like to locate the real color of our car, but we can't because it's every time we come through here, we just know it's dust.
On the flip side of that, I do have to say the people over there that work over here are very nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I call them, and if I ask them not to blast on certain days because school shows, they won't.
That's good.
And if they
Yeah.
see a bunch of cars over here, they'll call me first.
Yeah.
So I really do appreciate that. I really
Yeah.
do.
Well,
I think
that's being a good neighbor.
It is being.
I
that
think
is
they
being a
are.
good neighbor.
I think they are. I just think
I have to
that
defend them a little bit because of that, but
some other things that can be done, and they were outlined at this meeting. Hey, this is what you can do to help us out. And the guys that showed up, the representatives that showed up, were very agreeable. They didn't. Not necessarily they didn't realize that there was a problem. I don't think that they realized that the issue was as big as what it is, So they'll get their shot.
Okay, well, we have some other events in March, and that will be on Saturday, March 15th. The Lions Club will hold their they're going to hold their chicken and fish fry on the 15th of March. And it will begin at 11 o'clock until 6 p.m. And that will be at the Lions Club building right off Lehman Street. All the proceeds from this event will go to the White Cane Project, which deals with blindness and sight programs locally. And that's an organization, the White Cane is. But that's where the proceeds from that will go. And that's always been one of the Lions Club main projects, has been sight problems. And many children here in Cannon County have had problems, serious problems with their eyes that were detected because of the Lions Club light eye screening that they do. So this is most of the things that the Lions Club does goes to a charity, not always the same one. But yeah, this is a good thing. But their fish fry, that's probably some of the best fish I've eaten. They do a really good job with that. And it has all the fixings. And they do have takeout available. Now, it's all you can eat, but if you come in and get it to go, you can't take it home and then come back and get another plate.
Have you had that happen?
Yes,
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
yes, we have.
Well, you come to think about it, though. I mean, if it's just one plate, I can see that. But and I don't really condone that, but I mean, that's kind of weird. But it's ingenuity thinking, don't you think? I mean, I'm going to go home and watch the ball game while I eat, and after I'm finished, I'm going to come back
get
to
another
the
plate.
Lions Club and get me another plate. But if you've got a full family full of people,
That's
no.
where they draw the line.
Yeah.
If you're eating in and you want to get up and go get more fish and everything, they don't have a problem with that. But
Yeah.
if you take it out and go home, and then you come back and say, I want 2 more plates.
Yeah, and no, that 2 more plates wouldn't get it. You'd have to come back. If it was me and we allowed something like that, you'd have to come back. You get 1 plate or one container.
But anyway, that will be on Saturday, March 15th. And we ask everybody to come out. You won't regret it. Their food is really good. And then on Saturday, March 22nd, the Lions Club Princess Ball will be here at the Art Center. That is a father-daughter dance. The proceeds from this event goes to the Juvenile Diabetes Association. And I am chair over this one, so last year we had a record crowd here at the Art Center. And we do have food for them, for everyone. It is a father-daughter dance. Now, we do have to draw some lines, mainly because we did have a full house last year. But I've had a request that mothers and siblings get to come. We really can't do that because we don't have the room to be able to do that. But we don't want to go away from what the original reasoning in this was, and that's a father-daughter dance. Now, it could be a grandfather, it could be a brother, but they have to be over 18 years old. I will take flowers out to the schools to take home, and please fill those out and get them back to me as soon as you can. And we'll make sure that we have enough food for everybody. But the Art Center is a great place to have that. There's plenty of room in here to dance. You'll have fun. The kids have a great time. We have goodie bags, great music. And last year we even had some special guests. And I believe that there may be here again this year. But the kids got a kick out of it. And they also have a photo booth set up. Now you take your own pictures with, we'll have some girls here that will use your camera to take the pictures. So you'll have them when you leave.
Who did you have as special guest last year?
Elvis.
Elvis, okay.
Some of the little girls didn't know who Elvis
That's what I was going to say. I wonder if some of the little girls,
but it didn't matter. They screamed anyway.
yeah.
That's funny.
But this year we may have more than one. I'm working on that as we speak.
I was thinking she was going to say Santa Claus.
No.
Yeah, she brought,
March.
yeah. She brought back Santa Claus from the Cannon Country
Well, I
Christmas.
probably could because he would come
yeah,
back.
he probably
The Easter
would.
Bunny.
Yeah, you could have the Easter Bunny. Yeah.
But they have a big time with
She didn't
this,
like
and
that.
even the dads have a big time with this, or the grandfathers. We've had some grandfathers that surprised me. We had one man for several years. Now, I haven't seen him. I didn't see him last year. I think it's because his little girl grew up. but ages 2 to 18 can come to this. But he brought his little girl for, several years, and he danced even when she wasn't. So this is a good thing. There's nothing wrong with this. But anyway, that's going to be on Saturday, March 22nd. Unfortunately, it is for Cannon County fathers and daughters only. We don't have the room. I've had people call me from Murfreesboro and McMinnville that wanted to be part of this. And if we had the room, that would be okay, but this is a Cannon County event. And then the child advocacy is that. And then this year, the Senior Center has changed the date of their good old days. And it will be on April 25th and 26th on the square. And then the first chamber cruise-in will be April 26th. That is a Saturday. And it will be here at the Art Center from 4 to 7. The remainder of the cruise-ins will be on the fourth Saturday of every month from 4 to 7, but they will be at the square. And then, of course, in September, we have the Color of Fall car show. So that's about all I have. I will tell you that this is Valentine's Day month, so you need to get your sweetie something sweet. And even if she isn't sweet, you can get her something anyway. That might help.
Something non-sweet, right?
We just wish you a happy birthday. I mean, a happy Valentine's Day. Well, we wish you a happy birthday.
If it's your birthday in February.
That's right. And we will be back again next month.